Welcome to the Launch Lab. I'm your host, Colin Raja. Each episode, I sit down with top sellers, brand builders, and marketers to uncover why products win or don't and how to fix yours. Real strategies, real data, real results. Let's launch. Hey guys, this is Colin Raja here. This is Launch Lab. Each episode, we break down what is really take to win on Amazon. This show, we featuring the top e-commerce leaders. Especially this episode is brought to you by a Launch Lab. I personally build a multi-seven-figure brands on Amazon. I know what it takes to grow. If you're ready to launch smarter and scale faster and turn the data into the momentum, you're in the right place. I remember when I was getting a 10 sales a day and I started implementing the same strategy, exactly what I'm doing right now. And you know that when the strategy changed all the time, and I took it to grow to 120 sales a day within 90 days period. Trust me, this strategy works. This is like a crazy disclaimer, guys. I cannot help every single product. Trust me, there are like a go-to product, commercial product, commodity products are available in the market. I cannot help those products. I'm very choosy in terms of like finding out the deep analysis, what's going to work. I want to help people. If I find a 50% chance that I can help, I would love to work with you on that product actually. If you need more details, contact me at colin.raja@contentgroupllc.com. And we can see if your product is fit for the criteria that I can help. And learn more about it at colinraja.org. And I have somebody called Chad here from Rise 25 who have done thousands of interviews with the successful entrepreneur and the CEOs. And we have flipped the script. He will be interviewing me. That's what we're doing right now. Let's go.
Okay, awesome. Hey, looking forward to talking to you, Colin. At some point, I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about your strategies with Amazon and selling things and how you kind of scaled up so quickly. But today, I'm kind of looking forward to talking to you and learning more just about you, the person. As we kind of get into it.
I love that.
As we kind of get into it, I know 2024, for lack of a better word, was an interesting year for you. Just tell me a little bit about it.
Oh, 2024, it's a super, I hit my 20, it's like 39. I'm finishing my, I finished my 39 years. I completed my 30. I hit my 40 on my 24, 25 right now. It was a crazy, brutal year for me, honestly. It was, I went through a lot of emotion. So let me go back a little bit, right? So in my life, I was talking to somebody yesterday about this. All my life is basically like, okay, I need to be like, go to the school, get a good grade and pass the test and go to the good college. Why? Because I need to pass a test to go to the good college. And I need to pass the college to get the pass the test for the companies I want to place for. And I want to get I need to do a better to get married to a better goal, right? And then, to get married to a better goal, I need to like a better son, to have a better son, and to have a better son, to teach the same process to them and follow the same thing, right? So there is no point of me in that game, actually. It is all about future. It's all about futuristic, how I can able to move my needle from one direction to other. That's exactly what I follow. Most of the time, we live in the past or live in the future. I never get a chance to live in my presence in my life. So I moved to a college. I go into like I went into US, came to US, and I come in a better company and started a business. I was looking for making $1,000, and I was making to make for $5,000. I was looking to make like 1 million. I was looking to make like a 10 million, and my goal never ends actually. So I always like looking into future, right? So I got a slap on my face during the last 2 years, actually.
So, you entered into this new process, this new season. What were some things that kind of came out of that? Maybe you learned something new or you got healthier or something like that. What are some kind of maybe quantifiable results? I'm sure there are endless results, but what are some maybe quantifiable ones?
The quantified results is basically this. I lived a life in a way that I was completely dead inside and alive outside. How many people are being zombie right now, actually? And I was a zombie for so long. And this is the first moment that I able to recognize, oh my God, I was a zombie. I was living super outside and completely dead inside, not living anything. So that's the first part I recognize that, oh, you got to live both side of your life actually. You got to live internal and external. If not, you're just living a fake life. You're
So,
just
what are some
living.
examples of how that kind of manifested for you?
Um, so I created certain rules actually in life. So I created a boundaries. I don't compromise things actually for some simple things. For example, I created a friendship in a way that real friendship, not like giving them for sacrificing myself actually. I do. I mean, if somebody says I do something for somebody and I thinking that they're gonna do something for me, then I do something for them, or I care about somebody because I want them to be care about me like the way that how I care about them actually, right? It's all become like how what I did before is basically like okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it from you, but I'm going to give it to you full, right? And then I will expect I'm expecting that I'm going to get it back actually. If I don't get it back, I get disappointed. I don't want to talk about it actually with you, and I would like suppress myself at that point.
So it's like kind of a transactional mentality.
It's not a say okay, it's not a transactional. I would say it's like a nice guy syndrome actually.
Mm-hmm.
Put this way, nice guy syndrome. I'm gonna do everything nice to everybody. I'm gonna be nice to every single person in this world actually. Not even somebody doing bad things to me, I'm gonna be nice to them completely. But the point is like I'm gonna be like out of 10 people I'm being nice, one person will be like giving me what I'm doing everything to you I'm not able to get things, so I'm gonna do this to you actually.
Mm.
I'm not able to get the love that what I want, but I'm gonna love you in a way that how I should be loved actually. Not like an exchange, but it's like a something like I'm I'm gonna do things like what I need to get actually, but I'm not getting it anywhere. So that's a really, really hard topic to get into it actually, very honestly. So when I realized that, I put up like a boundaries in place actually. I tell my friends, if I cannot be honest, if I cannot slap on your face, if I cannot tell you that you're a piece of shit, that when you're doing something wrong actually, and I don't want you to be my friends, and that applies to you, right? When I'm doing something wrong, when I did something bad, like and you should be able to be vulnerable and have a honest communication with me, and that should be okay. That's not comes out of fear, that comes out of respect, that what we're building together each other actually.
I know you were kind of transformed in the sense that you maybe are more open to speaking. Maybe you struggled to speak before, you were maybe introverted. Tell me about that process, that kind of transformation.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting thing. So what I did in my life is like one point of time I started created a something called fuck yeah list and a shit list actually, right?
Hmm.
One of my shit list is like I'm a super introvert actually, and I'm scared of public speaking and talking, which I want to do more actually, right? What I did is basically I went and then I took a very I don't know where I come up with this. It's crazy. So I was like, okay, you know what? I do a lot of experiments in life. After that, after the ceremony, I started doing a lot of experiment in my life actually. So what I did is first experiment is basically like okay, I went and talked to 30 people a day and know their names. If I don't know their names, I will like not consider that as like a count actually. So I did that one in New York, and it's very difficult for you to talk to people in New York. It's like a very difficult. So it's like when you say hello, it's people like think like, what the fuck you want? Are you trying to sell something or what are you doing actually, right? And one of the girl I was talking to in the train, I never speak to somebody like this in the train station actually. And I'm like, no, I just want to have like a conversation. Nothing. I'm not hitting on you. I'm not trying to be, interested. I'm just having a genuine human conversation with you. I'm not profiling anything. And so she was like very interested on the conversation, what I had. And I did that one for like 30 days straight. My introvert personality completely disappeared.
Wow.
So this is like out of whatever the spiritual journey I went upon, right? Think about it this way. I went into this problem because solely one issue. I'm a super dumb kid in my childhood. I don't pass tests. I passed like seventh grade. I failed seventh grade twice. I had to study seventh grade twice. Um, with that said, right, what happened is like everybody treat me that I'm dumb. And even my family came in and say, hey, send him to the mechanical shop so he can learn something and he can survive. So with that said, right, my environment around me, my neighbors comes and say, hey, don't let your son to hang out with my son. I don't want them to be a failure.
Oh,
Right?
come
It's
on.
brutal. I remember still right now, right? It's a brutal what they said. When our surrounding environment like that, so everybody stop me for whenever I'm speaking. So when I start out trying to ask question, everybody thinks that I'm gonna talk bad, and when I asking some question to somebody, and everybody thinks that I'm gonna say bad things actually, right? So that put me in an introvert situation actually. So I learned this one by going under finding out what is the underlying pain of why I became an introvert, right? So
Mhm.
where this is what so you and this is it's exactly the same situation what happened with the depression. So that if you call yourself that you're depressed, actually, what is the solution for the depression? It's like a only thing. It's like a tablet actually. So you have like a medical depression and also like a emotional depression, right? So the point is, if medical depression, it's a different story. But if you're like emotional depression, if you're like going through some kind of like a crazy things, and if you feel depressed, that means there is like an underlying pain behind that to identify what is the problem actually. Instead of identifying there is a problem, then what's the best thing what we take is like a tablet actually. So instead of saying depressed, and you need to go and then ask yourself a question about like, okay, why are you feeling this way? Do not I strongly suggest anybody who doing this right now, anybody going through it, try to ask yourself a question. Why are you feeling what you're feeling right now? If you're down, why are you down? When you go into the underlying question, when you ask like they call like seven questions to seven a why to find out the answer, right? To underline motives. So find ask that question to you, and you will able to find out underlying pain. When you find underlying pain, you can able to solve the problem actually. So the best analogy on this, like to solve any problem, you need to identify there is a problem actually,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
So those are the small things what I come up with, and then it changed the whole thing of my introvert personality to better personality. I after that I did like I recorded like a 50 podcast. I spoke at a multiple conferences, went from someone who's struggling speaking to someone learn how to own the stage. Try to be, that's where the shift changed, because now I'm trying to go for adventure in terms of like how I want to speak. I mean, I don't care about what other people is going to think about. What I care about is like basically how I enjoy my stage, how I'm enjoying the presence with you right now, and how I'm feeling, how I'm remembering everything what I went through, right? And then I'm feel very proud of what I went through actually as well.
Yeah, I bet. I'm curious about your transformation from an introvert to a non-introvert. How long did it take? Like 5 days, 150 people. That's not very long, but that's a lot of people you had to talk to. By the end of 5 days, were you feeling more comfortable, or were you like, I hate this?
No, see, I did it for 30 days.
Yeah. So
Right.
how many days did it take
First
before you realized you were changing?
5 days is terrible.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like I don't want to do this actually. Like, it's like people make you feel sick. And it's like and especially in New York, nobody welcome you to talk to them. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I want to give up multiple days. I just want to, but I'm just like and then I felt like, it's always like that, right? When you go to the gym, you feel hurt. When you go for some kind of class with learning something, you're gonna feel shit. Okay, God, I'm gonna give up actually. I'm trying to learn Spanish right now. I'm almost trying to give up. And then, like, one thing that history tells me, whenever you feel it, that means you're learning something hard. And then you need to, when you push back on that, you're probably going to be in the other side of the journey, actually, right? So, because of that past experience, what it gives me, then I feel like, okay, I want to push forward. Uh, the one thing I did is basically one thing I'm very, 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 very good at is like showing up.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter whether I failing or successful or getting brutally attacked or whatever, fucking show up. The show up is the best thing you can able. You don't have to be super talented in your life, actually. You don't have to be super smart. As long as you just be very consistent, the consistency can take you beyond your own expectations. The courage matters more than a credential. That's what one other person says, like, don't congrats me because I finished the race. I congrats me because I started the race, actually.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. So, is it better to be consistent or to be the smartest and the most talented?
No, it's for me, okay, my life, what I'm living is a gift, actually.
Hmm.
I feel there is a higher power that gives me this life, actually. Why? Because I'm from a gut, like a very bad background, and then I'm here in this life. It's come from like a God, actually, for sure. Right. So what God has given a gift to me is like a never give up, actually. Like even in my schools, I pass fail tests. I go and then prepare for the next test. Even though I know I'm going to be failing, actually. So do your work. Your rewards will come automatically later, actually. So it's like the same thing applies for everything in business as well. It's like do not and see that's the biggest learning for me. We always get dopamine effect out of the success. Right now I creating a dopamine effort out of the effort that what I'm putting it on right now. And I'm teaching my son the same thing. I don't want to say my son like a good job, what you've done. I'm gonna say him like, okay, good job, you're trying, actually. You did an amazing job on like working hard for you this, actually. Right? Not for, okay, you created something and say like goodbye. It's a dopamine effect that what we feeding them in terms of like external validation create their happiness at that point, not from internal happiness, like, oh, how I feel about it, what I created. I never, this is what I'm having right now. The problem, what my parents, the society teaches is like, when you get the good grade, you get the rewards and everything, actually, at that point. It's like, right now, if I'm creating an idea, I have to talk to somebody to get a validation stating that the idea is worth it. And after somebody like, wow, what the heck, how the heck you come up with it? Then like, oh my God, why did I share this one outside?
Right.
So yeah, man, it's this is what it is, actually. So
So, as we kind of wrap things up here, what are some maybe two things that you could share, like principles or takeaways or ways of living that you now realize that you have that maybe other people could benefit from?
sure. As I mentioned before, life is super simple to live. You know, it's it's like this. Like the most of the time. So okay, our life is built on two things: pain and pleasure. If you control pain and pleasure, you control your life. If the pain and pleasure controls you, it controls your life, actually. Right.
Mm,
So the point is how you can feel. Most of the time we suffer out of our emotions. The emotions are gifted by God, like to feel it, not to suffer. Most of the time as a human, we take all the emotions and suffer out of it, right? That's a crazy part. And then second part is like, since I went through so many things in my life, I feel I one point of time I feel sorry for myself. Like, I was like feeling super sorry. And then I feel like, I feel like, okay, this happened to me. I'm a victim, whatever. When I stop, when I stop believing in that, when I stopped that belief, actually, then my real life started living, actually, at that point. One thing I would say at the end, it's the most important thing, do not die before death. Ask yourself every time, whatever you're doing, are you in a jail or in a freedom?
mm,
I mean, live fully both inside and outside. It's the most important thing. Out of this 2000 through 2 year, 3 years journey, actually, I honestly tell you, I lived more widely, more honestly than ever before. But yeah, there was a tear, there was a doubt, there was a depression, and also joy, and the growth, and the clarity, and adventure, right? And the finally what I thought is like, I try to be control of life. The only I finally understand, we never in control of life. We can choose to show up anyway, right? Those are things are most important thing I come out of this journey, I'm like, I was so appreciated of life and what I went through, and so appreciated of people who I surrounded with. I'm so appreciated of people who value added to my life, be part of it, this journey, and so appreciated for myself that taking a big leap of faith that everything is going to be all right.
Yeah, yeah, that is awesome. Hey, I have one more question though. You kind of mentioned the two lists that you created. Um, one's kind of like do something scary, and one's do something that
Yeah.
excites you, and I think they're both important.
Yeah, so I would do in terms of like right now what I'm doing is like I take fuck yeah list and shit list. I do one of each every month actually. So for example, so one of my lists is basically I'm scared of heights.
Mm.
I'm super scared of heights. So what I did is basically I got an invitation for speaking in like Philippines somewhere. No, I went to Philippines for something. Um, no, when I was with my partner, I was in Thailand. We were in Thailand. I was in like a hike. What is it? I forgot the name. So it's like a jump actually in the water, right?
Hmm.
From the cliff dive. So I was in a cliff dive, like 15 feet or some 10 feet or 15 feet. I stand there for 30 minutes, man. It's 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I stand there and I couldn't even jump actually anything. The pain of not jumping, it's bigger than a pain that I would have taken to jump actually,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
So and I went to Philippines and then I did like a purposely like I did like a um cliff diving hiking actually. You have to do the cliff dive to move to the next destination. So I did the jump and oh my God, I feel so much relief, the courage, what I had to take, the big leap of faith that I'm gonna be all right taking a jump. That was a crazy. I'd love to post that video. Like I was like going back and forth on trying to jump or not on that one big 15 feet jump. It was crazy. So those are the shit lists and fuck lists you need to have in your life to feel yourself your heartbeat, to feel yourself like your emotions, like not like again. So standing there and suffering 45 minutes not to jump, you feel it and jump and feel the emotion of it, like a pain and pleasure and
Hmm.
everything.
Hmm.
That's worth it to do and being a part of like a experience experiencing everything in life. Right now I'm trying to experience a lot of things. So one thing best thing what I'm doing is like it doesn't matter whether it's sad or happiness or whatever, right? So I'm trying to experience. So last thing what I want to say is like, we have like a two things. You don't have to be like extremely happy, you don't have to be like extremely sad, right? And you can be extremely happy, you can be extremely sad, but the only thing is stable is like in the middle actually. You can be go extremely happy and come back in the middle. You can be extremely sad and come back to the middle. That's the only thing it will last. Either way, if you go extremely try to be happy all the time, you're gonna be like a feeling like bored or stuck or whatever it is, and you don't feel uncertain about that location. It's all this is all come from my personal angle of it. I could be 100% wrong here what I'm talking about. I'm not an expert on this topic. I feel like to share this one because I think when I look for this information, I didn't have this information to anybody. And I would love to share it with anybody who going through any kind of issues. Um, I mean, take a moment, think back where you come from, and then you should be able to feel proud of what you have done. And you're here actually.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, great stuff, Colin. Very valuable. I'm sure somebody will listen to this and be really affected by it, and will really benefit from it. I appreciate you having me today. It was great to talk to you, and hopefully I can talk to you on another episode down the road.
For sure, 100%. Thanks for all your great questions, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. So long,
Awesome.
everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Launch Lab, where data meets momentum and great ideas become seven-figure brands. If you found today's episode valuable, share it with a fellow Amazon seller, subscribe, and leave us a review. Until next time, launch smart, scale fast, and never stop testing.